Tsuburaya Productions wins a court case in California for Ultraman's international licensing rights. So
Objection!
for some of you,
wait, no, sorry.
yeah, no, that was 2 clips ago. So why it was 2 articles ago. So why does this mean anything to you, the common person who doesn't know anything about Ultraman or Japanese superheroes? Why does this mean anything to you?
Hi, Matt.
Well, it doesn't. You can go. You can leave.
Oh.
Not you, Tristan. No, because everyone's like, what does it mean to me? It doesn't. But the reason why this means a lot, both to Tokusatsu fans and to Tsuburaya, is because, and we've talked about this a little bit before, there was a Chinese movie that came out recently. I think we talked about this last episode, or 2 episodes ago. There's a Chinese movie that came out in China, and this company basically said, hey, we have the rights to put Ultraman in our movie. And Tsuburaya was like, objection! They were like, no, you fucking don't. And they said, yes, we do. We talked to this company. We talked to this company about it. And in true Chaiyo fashion, they pulled it was me, Dio. And because every time it's like, who's fucking over Tsuburaya internationally? Every time it's Chaiyo Dio. Every single fucking time, dude. I swear to God. Every time people are like, wait, why can't this project be released? It was me, Dio. It was me, Chaiyo. It's basically what it is, though. So, yeah, we mentioned this last time, but some of you guys didn't catch that, some of you guys don't know. Basically, Chaiyo claims... Chaiyo is short for a really long name that we'll talk about later in this clip, in this article. Chaiyo claims, hey, we have the rights to release Ultraman. I think at the time there were only 7 Ultraman shows out, because obviously Ultraman, just like Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, Power Rangers, been going on for a very long time. So, this was in the 70s when this agreement was quote-unquote made. Basically it was like, yeah, so we have the rights, because we talked to Eiji Tsuburaya's son, who, at the time ran the company, and we talked to him, and we got this seal of approval that says that we have the rights to every Ultraman show that's currently out for eternity. And courts, depending on what region you're in, have agreed. Even Japanese courts were like, seems legit.
Right.
And Tsuburaya, was like,
why is this happening?
We're from here. Could we, get a home team advantage or something?
Right.
But no, they did not do well over there with trying to prove that, hey, guys, this is, and it's legal terms here, guys, so I'm going to spout some legal terms. I don't really know much about the legal system, but Tsuburaya, in response to pretty much everything that Chaiyo has said in regards to having the rights, Tsuburaya has said that it's bullshit. Again, I don't know what that means personally. It's just all this legal jargon. Talk to your local lawyer, I guess. I mean, if they're representing you, maybe they'll tell you what it means. So it's just it's bullshit, because no, you don't own this due to some random contract in the 70s that Tsuburaya is like, yeah, this is not real. But because of that, a lot of projects have gotten shut down. I mean, there was a rumored Will Smith, I say Will Smith led, as in he would have been the main character. He could have been Ultraman, but not so much Will Smith was funding it. But Will Smith could have been Ultraman years ago. But Chaiyo is like, yeah, so we have the rights to it, so we're going to get the money. And Tsuburaya is like, no.
Right.
And that, along with some other stuff, is kind of what pushed this lawsuit in the U.S. Because they've tried doing lawsuits overseas, like I said earlier, but it really pushed it in the U.S. because of the fact that they're just like, nah, we need, it's our property, it's not yours. And Chaiyo's like, you're wrong. And apparently California courts disagree with Chaiyo and have sided with Tsuburaya, which is awesome, because it's, it's just, we've had to deal with this as Ultraman fans for years, not being able to get the first 7 Ultraman series, and then when we do get them, where Shout Factory has released Ultra Q, they haven't released Ultraman, another company did, but they released Ultra Q and Ultra 7 on DVD. I want to buy them so badly, because I love Shout Factory. They're not bootleggers, right? They're giving money back to the original companies. But here's the question that I have to ask, and I think all of us have to ask this moral question. Wait, if Chaiyo owns the rights to the first 7 shows in the U.S., and some of the first 7 shows are out on DVD, Who's getting paid for this?
Right. Yeah.
So but that doesn't mean that I'm saying that Shout Factory is dealing with is illegal here or are selling bootlegs. All I'm saying is there's a good chance that whatever company they're dealing with is just some kind of middleman for Chaiyo.
Right.
And that's not again thinking against Shout Factory because what can they do? They just want to release Ultraman shows in the U.S., right? So they pay whoever they can to release them in the U.S. So personally, if anyone has any moral dilemmas like I do, just buy them third hand, right? Instead of buying them directly from Shout Factory. But it is a little worrisome because even with I mentioned earlier, there's a different company that owns Ultraman, the original show, not Ultra Q, which Ultra Q came out before Ultraman. Actually, it's funny. Ultra Q is so old it's in black and white. That's how old Ultra Q is.
Wow.
And yeah, I know, right? And Ultra Q is actually a bit of like a Godzilla Monster Island kind of show-ish, where Ultraman is a bit more like, I'm a superhero, right? Like I'm a superhero from a different planet, who's come here to fight these giant monsters. But when it comes to Ultraman, it's owned by a different company, or it's being released by different companies. But here's the catch, though. When people did some research into, what company licensed this to whatever DVD distributor, it turned out that company, it was something Gold. It wasn't Harmony Gold, and I always get that wrong, so sorry. It was not Harmony Gold, but it was something Gold. Apparently, they're a shell company for Chaiyo. So they're just a different name for Chaiyo in the U.S. So when you see, hey, Gold something media licensed it to this company. Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. It's not Tsuburaya, but it's not those darn Chaiyos. Nope. It's Chaiyo. So it's still technically, you're not giving Tsuburaya any money if you buy Ultraman that directly from like Amazon or something, or from a retailer. So again, it's very hard for us as Ultraman fans because we want these shows released legally in the U.S., but we also want Tsuburaya to get money from them. So thankfully there's some shows, like when 4Kids released the awkward Ultraman Tiga dub. It was not a good dub, but it was a dub nonetheless. And when they released that, Tsuburaya said, hey, you guys have to release the Japanese version on DVD. Right. And I actually have them in my collection because Funimation released those, funnily enough. So Funimation released those, so that was legal, because Ultraman Tiga is not one of the first 7 Ultramen. Right. Who else? There's a lot of different Ultraman shows on Crunchyroll, and even though some of them go far back as the 80s, they're not the original 7, so that's legal. Same thing with Go 90, which we talked about before, and we're going to talk about something a little bit later on in the show, that they also have Ultraman streaming, and it's completely legal, right? So we have legal alternatives, thankfully, right? Over the years, our voices have been heard, but there's still those early 7 where we still are in this waiting game because Chaiyo are being jerks. So as I'm looking up some more info about this to kind of talk about the story itself, how do you feel about this, Tristan? I know you're not a fan of Ultraman. I never even showed you Ultraman. Oh, or have I?
No, you have. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I feel like you did enjoy it in like sci-fi. Because Ultraman was heavy on sci-fi compared to Kamen Rider and Super Sentai.
Right.
Ultraman was like super heavy on that. Like, we're an organization that is in no way the Godzilla Defense Force. Because I think I showed you... I showed you Tiga. That's what I didn't show you like the original like Ultraman. I showed you Tiga where it was like, the Pyramid of Light and all that stuff. That's what I showed you. Now I remember. But anyway, how do you feel about this story?
Well, yeah, I'm glad Tsuburaya is finally winning out, or at least won this court case to be like, yeah, no, this is our property, and we did not agree to hand it over to you.
Yeah.
In a, one-page, PDF document that you have tucked away.
See, that's what I wanted to look up, because I knew I was missing something. Why did the courts side with Tsuburaya? They didn't just side with them because they're a bunch of nerds like us. They sided with them because they were like, all right, Chaiyo, prove to us that you have the rights. And Chaiyo said, sure, here's a PDF document. They were like, okay, but those can be doctored.
Yeah.
can you give us an original document? Because even if an original document was doctored, I'm sure they'd have ways to be able to tell, like, oh shit, this is forged. So they were like, guys, could you just give us the original document? And they're just like, I'm sorry, we don't have that anymore.
Right.
Or we can't find it. And the courts are like, then... Yeah. I'm going to let you finish, but not as the license holders for Ultraman in the U.S.
Right.
No, because that's the thing. Like, you have to sit there and you have to have proof of something. And, you know, when digital files can be altered, you have to have the original file, especially when you're claiming, oh, you know, we've had the rights to these for 40 years now.
Yeah.
Well, then you gotta have that on hand. You can't you can't come to court and be like, here's the digital version. It's just like, wait, I don't think there were digital versions in the 70s. I'm gonna go, you know what, maybe it's considered controversial. I don't think there were digital files in the 70s for contracts. I don't think they did that. So no, they got schooled. But now the reason why this happened, it wasn't because of the Ultraman potential movie. It wasn't even because of everything I've been mentioning with Shout Factory and all that stuff. It's actually because in May 2015, Tsuburaya Productions was alerted to the fact that there was a company uploading, I think UMC, uploading videos for early Ultraman series on YouTube. Sorry, it was Verdana Entertainment that was uploading it. And so UMC, which again I'm pretty sure is related to Chaiyo, is basically like, hey, yes, so there was a transfer from Sayang Doeng Chai, who basically is Chaiyo Productions, Sueng Ding Chai. Apparently it's like, no, all these rights were transferred over to UMC. This is normal, right?
Right.
And Verdana Entertainment is allowed to upload these series. And I even checked, Verdana Entertainment is in no way related to Shout Factory at all. So this is just a random other company that's just like, we have the rights, and Tsuburaya is like, nah, you don't.
Right.
So, yeah. So it's just funny, because UMC is like, don't worry, Verdana Entertainment. You have the rights to put Ultra Q, Ultraman, and Ultra 7 on YouTube. Tsuburaya's like, no, you fucking don't.
Right.
And so, yeah, and that's kind of how this was started, which is so funny, because you would think it would be something bigger, like the movie, or like Shout Factory releasing those DVDs in the US. Which, I mean, I get maybe Shout Factory, if they're not included in this at all, or I haven't heard anything about it, maybe they license it from Tsuburaya. I think that's a question we have to ask Shout Factory. You guys should totally go out and email them politely if you want to ask that stuff. No, because I believe in activism in that way. Like, hey, you're like, wait, is this legal? Talk to the company about it, you know?
Right.
So yeah, in my opinion though, I think that obviously it's great that Tsuburaya won this case. It should have never been a case though, because like, could I just do this? Like, I would never do this. That would be terrible if I did. But let's think about it here, Tristan. Like, is it that fucking easy?
Right.
For 40 years? Or at the very least 30 years? There was, like, that's nuts. I know, but here's the thing though, Tristan. Here's the thing though.
If you talk to the company owner's son over drinks, I mean, I guess anything's possible.
I guess so. Apparently, that's the story. Oh,
right.
Well, we made this over drinks. That's what it was. It's insanity. I can't just say that I own half of Nintendo because I talked to the last CEO 10 years ago over drinks from my sippy cup, because I would have been like, well, not 10 years ago, but like, 15 to 20 years ago. Drinks from my sippy cup.
Don't lie, Matt.
What?
Don't lie. You had a sippy cup 10 years ago.
I was 15, so no. I had actually upgraded to those, to what's it called? To the high C drinks with the straws. I was 15 at the time, so of course I was drinking high C orange and strawberry, not strawberry, cherry,
Got
and
it,
stuff
my
like
mistake.
that. Yeah, don't, I don't know. I don't know where this is going. All I know is I'm happy for Tsuburaya.
Right.
That's what matters. I'm happy for Tsuburaya. Good job. More Ultraman in the U.S. Good stuff.